Hi.
Chair.
Hi, everybody. Mac, Theron, Day, Willow. Hope you're all doing well. All right. So, a conclusion I came to. We don't want this. We don't want that. Actually, hang on. Go into that. Go into that. Change that to be called shipping container because its default name of node is not helpful. All right. Save it. And now, get rid of it. We're not using the shipping container. I thought it through. It's not gonna fly. Busy, but good. Just very worn out and ready for a regular old week to start. All right. What was the parent object of this? Right side house tower. Okay. So we're gonna have a node 3D, and we're gonna call that pipe bridge. We're gonna have a little bridge of pipes. Like this, not this exactly, but something along those lines. I know, it is weird. Going to work for a restful break. That is in fact the case. Okay, so here's my idea. We're gonna go with pipes coming out of the ground here. That's gonna be what we use. We are going to scale this to some degree to make these pipes a little bit thicker. Something like this. They're going to be just very, very close. You're just going to waltz right over them. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to move there. So transform this to double scale. But then this gets moved. Oh, actually, yeah, I guess we do need to move it up a little bit. The node, the base node here itself. And now we're gonna move this part up. Up a little more. That looks about right. Right there. Tempted to make an even bigger pipe, but that's probably fine. So the idea is we're gonna have like 3 or 4 pipes that kind of branch out and then to the wall on the right. So it's not really a platforming challenge per se. You just have to walk across some stuff. I guess we will expand this like a little bit bigger. 2.5. Does make that look a little bit awkward, but I think it's gonna work. Then we need to add another metal pipe here. Just like that. And then duplicate. Yeah. Pipe to walk across. Living the dream. And then it's gonna get a little weird But we're gonna duplicate this. Theron, 34 months.
34 months. You know what that means, don't you, Dobbs?
I do.
That's right, almost a year.
I knew it. I knew it. Theron, thank you. That is a fairly ridiculous amount of time to be hanging out, watching me do whatever it is I'm doing. Rotate, pivot, pivot. Perfect. We're getting so close. Has anyone ever been as far as decided to subscribe for a year? Oh man, create. What a fun mod. What version is it on now? Let's see. Oh, I guess yeah, the one with the box packing is the latest. Yeah, that was added in 6.0 post-production. So the question is that the last version? Are they still gonna be doing it? Past the bazaar. I mean, we're a little to the right of the bazaar. What's the difference here between these two? Exactly one. Okay. So this needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then somehow we need to squeeze these in, which might mean scaling that down, which is a little bit silly. But it'll work. It's like a little awkward, but mostly fine. Well, that said, though, that's a big gap there. That's the worrying thing. That's kind of a big gap. So let's scoot it over 3. And that means this... Oops. Means this also needs to be scooted over 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And this can just be eyeballed. Okay, and then we're going to duplicate this again. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over. This is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this is going to get scaled in a bit to make this fit better. These are just kind of eyeballed, honestly, and it's fine. Something feels a little bit off here. I guess it's okay. No, that definitely looks off. I think all 3 of these are, yeah, too high by 1. All right, that looks good. Okay, you see the vision. You see the vision here. We're actually going to. Are we going to? Are we not? Should I go out a little bit further, maybe? It wouldn't be out of the question. One, 2. No, just one. One out. And then we'll take we'll be a little bit zany on which ones get stretched to keep it from being too regular. Let some of these just kind of stretch as needed to reach. Oh, this is the music for this area. Perfect. Okay, that looks fine. All right, yeah. Look at that. Great. It's a little dark over here. It's not casting a shadow, so we might add a little light source somewhere. Okay, so we got this much. Let's add another straight pipe here. No, I guess this should be a child of this, huh? Does that look right? Did I line that up? Yeah. So this can just go straight into the wall then. There we go. Just like that. So take these and then paste it into this. And then paste it into this. And it doesn't quite reach at the end. It's okay. We duplicate this. And just perfect. Okay. You see? You see? I think that's better than the shipping container, except for this, apparently. Shipping container will go somewhere, but not here. Okay, it's not complete though, because there's no solidity. We need a static body, and it needs a collision shape or two. Okay, or three. Probably three. Being honest. Alright. So let's line this up. We're gonna eyeball it. I may drop this down a little bit once we get it where it looks pretty good. Just to make it easier to run on and off from the tarp. Pain train. Interesting item. It causes you to take more damage, but it lets you capture control points faster. Duplicate that collision shape. Oops. But make it a unique separate mesh or separate shape object. I don't know. Honestly, when the Pain Train first came out, everybody was running it in the maps I was playing on. And now you don't really see a lot of people playing with that one anymore. Make unique. When you duplicate a shape, you have to watch out because changing one will change the other. That's probably, yeah, that looks good. Okay, there we go. It's got a shape, it's cool. I think we will bring it down a little lower. Just the whole thing. Yeah, there we go. So this is going to be a little bit awkward because the camera, yeah, that camera's going to clip into that. So maybe we do want it a little bit higher or something. Because that's, yeah, that's annoying right there. Okay, and then you would walk across it. And get to wherever it is we're going. So that's going to be for chapter 2. That looks a little bit awkward with the pipes just kind of there. Maybe we can make that a little bit... Maybe we can go under the tarp even. But then how do we deal with this camera business? Cat, what are you doing up there? Get down. Like, that is right in line with the camera. And so that would be either, well, you bring the pipes higher or the camera lower. But going under the tarp is probably the way to hide that awkward transition. And if I were to bring the pipes even lower, for instance, well, now you get this, which is, I definitely don't want that. So the whole point was to allow you to get into this little spot, but not have a big shipping container blocking the camera. A little hide and seek going on there. All right, how high up would it need to be so that I would not have to mess with camera stuff? That would be fine right there. That is actually okay. Can we make this work? Cat on head, cat on head, cat on head. You have to jump up to get on here, but that's not terrible if we can push this a little bit further towards the stuff there. Because then, yeah, then the camera is safer. So that would be that we would want basically just like these three. Oh, the curved ones are the parent. Is there anything we can do other than that? Because this awkward curve is not great for what we're doing. Let's see here. I mean, one option is to unparent it. Yeah. So you would want to have line 1, 2, and 3. And move these objects into those, but individually. One consists of these now. Line 2 is now these. And then line 3. Okay, so now I could scale these more independently. This right here, yeah, we could squish it back quite a bit if we wanted to. It's a little silly, but it might be it might be the play. Curve 2, curve 2, curve 3, whatever. Should squish these up really good so that these can reach better. Okay. And then these can still be regular thickness, and that's fine. I don't think anybody's really going to be able to see that at all. Okay, how does that look? Does that make it more clear where the solidity is? I think so. I think so. It's a little weird up here, but not too bad. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. And then you get to this area where, yeah, the wall is totally clipping in, and that's great. And I love that so much. That's so cool. Easy fix for this wall clipping is to actually just tilt it slightly, which is a little bit silly, but at the same time, it does work pretty well. It still reads as a right angle from a distance, I hope. But hopefully that stops the camera clipping on the edge there. Yeah, much better. And then, yeah, you won't be allowed to go that way. Okay. Next up, a thing I had, the pit. The idea for the pit. So the idea is this block here. This is just a solid block with a texture. Oh, 2-point texture. Oh, Oh, that's one of the issues with CSG shapes, is you get one texture for the whole thing. That might still be okay. I think I can still line it up pretty well. I mean, the only place where that texture even shows up on the side is right here. So we got some things we can do to get around that. For instance, mess with our transform scale. 24.75. Can I just change this to like 1? Wait. 1. Oh, wait. If not you, who am I looking at then? Who are you? Block 6, block 2, block 6, block 2. That's block 2. That's block 6. Are these in the same location? They sure are. I think it's a duplicate. Okay, block 6 then. Change that scale to 1. Oh, what's going on here? What am I selecting here? You. Just you. There we go. Yay! It's a good thing. That's a good thing. Alright, we can delete this. Apparently we've got lots of, like, random blocks floating around. There's no reason for that block to be there. And this, we can actually scooch. Should be negative 13 exactly. But its scale should be, let's say, 32. Yeah, to make it more flush. Okay. So now that we got that. So allegedly that might just be for the shape, for the side texture here. I don't know. One of us. One of us. Node 3. Wait, no. Don't add it there. Geometry. Add a node. 3D. For right lower floor. Add to that a CSG shape. Box 3D. The classic. Good, good. Texture for this oxide. No. What's the texture for that? Rust 1? No. Rust 2? No. Stained. Yes. Oh, but if I do the pit... See, this is my issue with this texture on a CSG shape, is there's not an easy way to say all horizontal surfaces are this texture, all vertical surfaces are this other texture. That said, it's so convenient to just block out with a CSG that it's kind of worth the extra hassle. There we go. Get some depth. All right, there's our new floor. New floor. Hopefully just the actual shape difference will make it different enough. All right, duplicate. Parent-child. Bring it in. Bring it way in. So the idea is this is the pit. This is the random pit that exists for some reason. That is purely there to provide a reason why you can't go any further back, but the camera can still see through without a problem. So we do subtraction, and boom, we have a pit. The water is visible. So slide that over. We have such a pit. What is that called? A pit. It's a pit. I'm going to make it so they are hidden. It didn't really hide anything. I actually took one shape minus another shape. It's totally allowed. Let's see here. Turn collision on. No, I mean, you don't, it's not really like that exactly. So it's like I used, let's say I used an eraser tool on it, is what I did. So what you can do is I can say, all right, this area is a block, but I want to subtract this area. And boom, now I have a little area where people can stand up here, and there's a pit. So I said, here's 2 boxes. Take box 1 minus box 2. That is what the shape should be. All right. Now, the issue is that, yeah, the texture is a little bit not super great. It just kind of blends in. And we can work with that to some degree. Let me see if there's a decent way. Godot, texture, horizontal versus vertical triplanar. Is there a way to do this? What do we got? What do we got? Oh, wait, here we go. This might be something. I've created a triplanar shader. Oh, geez, that's a mess. So that I can have separate textures on the X, Y, and Z axis for custom mesh. Oh, geez. That's a big block. There's got to be an easier way to do it. There's gotta be. Let's see here. Let's just slap in shader. Spatial material. I did not know triplanar was significantly slower, apparently. I'm seeing that. So what we're looking for is a, let's see, a triplanar shader. Let's see what we got here. I wanted to have a different thing on each side. What is this one? This might be something. What are we looking at here? Let's take 2 textures. What does this say? There's no explanation at all. But it does call for a ceiling, a wall, and a floor. Maybe. Let's try this. Is this for Godot 3? If it is, that would be pretty... Or Godot 4, if it is, that would be pretty fancy. Let's test it out. All right. Because I really don't want to try and mess around with trying to write this from scratch if we can help it. All right, let's see. Does it work? Does it compile? Yes. Okay. We're gonna try this then, because this would be so nice. It would be so nice. So try what you call it? CSG is really nice for doing these kind of intersection geometries without having to model things in Blender. It's not the prettiest mesh that it generates, but it saves on so much development time. So for prototyping, it's huge, and even for a final product, unless you're doing a ton of it or having the shapes move, then honestly, it's fine. It's like, yeah, it's gonna take a few extra triangles, but it's not gonna be super impactful unless the object is moving. But the problem I run into is you give it one texture for the whole resulting object, and I usually like to have a different texture on the top versus the side. I think that helps. But with a CSG, you just give it one texture. I mean, maybe there's a way to make the texture itself do that, but not that I've seen. Let me see. Let me make sure that I'm not missing something. Okay. Instead of using UV, no, yeah, triplanar just slaps it on. It's the same. It's one texture slapped on 3 different axes versus this, which might be better. All right, so we're gonna try this. How are we gonna? So we wouldn't go to the geometry, material. We're gonna reset that. So now we've got a untextured object. Material. New shader material. We're gonna give it this placeholder texture here. So that's something. Blue, huh? Shader parameters. Now what does it take here? Oh no, it just takes a color? Oh man. Oh man. Well, that's not what I want. Wait, no. That's just the albedo. Hang on, that's just the albedo. It does accept a texture as well. Texture. So can we take... Rusty 1 for floor. Actually, what do we use here? What textures do we have on this? Video game. Oxide and stained is the one. Okay, that still doesn't look quite right. It's got to be the PNG. Okay, well, I mean, that's close, right? Seems to be stretching that pretty ridiculously. What's happening here? I'm trying to find a new way of doing things with a shader that would make it much easier to do weird geometry. The shader is not quite working yet, but I'm sure we just give it a minute. Why is it black? Why is it the way it is?
Stop. You've violated the law. Pay the quarter fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit.
Then pay with your blood. Ah! 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 I played Oblivion for like an hour. about 10 years ago. There you go. Like, I got through the tutorial, and then I was like, well, I'll try more of it tomorrow, and then I never did. Which I feel awful about. Oh, this is awful. This is awful. So how do you determine this? Albedo, texture, floor, use UV on floor, don't use UV. Oh, okay, okay, so that's what that is. Well, that gives me something at least. Okay, yeah, I just don't use UV on floor. So why is it completely black? Pretty awesome and crashed a lot. Yeah, that's the vibe I've heard. Why is this completely black? Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Give me my mouse back. What? No, you can't do that. Give me my mouse back. Okay, there we go. All right. So it is giving a texture here. Let me bring that out. Let's bring a duplicate out here. Oh, wait, what? Huh. Well, that's mostly what I want, is a different texture on the walls versus the floors. Didn't give Morrowind a proper playthrough. Just never really did any of the Elder Scroll games. So it's weird. It's like, if it's exactly 0, it errors out for reasons. Alright, so take this rotation. Oh, and now it looks fine. Oh, except over here. Until I tilt it. That feels like some bad math somewhere. Yeah, something's up here. Okay, so this is just getting the textures. This is our blend factor. You like bad RPGs? Man, hey, have you ever heard of Quest 64? When are you doing a Quest 64 playthrough? Because if you like bad RPGs, then you'll hate Quest 64. What? I don't understand. I do not understand. Okay. Blend factor floor. Ground threshold. Blend smoothness. Vertex normal. Where is vertex normal coming from? Ah, here we go. It just grabs the normal from the vertex. Makes sense. You owned it, but what's going on? What is happening here? Getting the tangent. I have no idea what's happening with this. nothing. You played it. Okay, well, good, perfect. Then you should want to play it again. All right, what is smooth step? It sure would be nice if I could dip into the function definitions. It takes 3 parameters. 1, 2, 3. Returns 0 if it is smaller than edge 0, which is this. 1 if it's larger than edge 1. Otherwise, it interpolates between 0 and 1. Okay, so it puts it somewhere between. The result is a number between 0 and 1. So is the problem no? No? Maybe not? Ceiling. That is not how you spell ceiling. So in our material, we've got shaders for each. We have UV Global turned on, which does, I don't know what. What is that using? I don't even know. Turn it off. Nothing seems to have changed. Cool. UV scale. That is changing things. Okay, hang on. UV scale is changing things. Oh yeah, it's gonna change things regardless. I would figure that UV global would mean that it... Oh, should this be 1? Should UV scale be 1? If we're multiplying by it, I feel like UV scale should be 1. I mean, it does now have a texture, which is something... Okay. Okay, yeah, that was a bad default value. Now we actually have a texture instead of just a blur. But we still have darkness. There's still darkness. You don't even know what Quest 64. I did a stream on it long ago. This looks a little bit weird. Something is weird with the texture here. I can't put my finger on it. Why is this black? Why is this black? So we mix the wall, the floor, and the ceiling based on the blend factor of these two. So if I were to say blend factor floor is 0, then it would assume everything is and ceiling. Well, see, that should, in my opinion, make it say that everything is wall if I set these values like this. But if I set it to 1 on floor, it should say everything is floor. But this one wall here, for some reason, it's this plane. It stays perpetually black. The story isn't even good. It's true. Dubu! Dubu, when are you gonna play Quest 64? Hi, D. Adidas! Shaw! D, you're gonna do like a day 1 Silk Song stream when it comes out, right? Don't hate Quest 64, even though you listed a bunch of stuff wrong with it just now. Everybody coming in from Dupu's channel, welcome in. You probably know me already, but I'm Dobbs. Super Troopa. That's true. It's Zazy Zays Cave. It's Zigzag Talk. You understand. You understand. It's fun. It's been funny every time. Germ, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Video game, understand. Understand. It's a good raid message. We're talking about Quest 64 and shaders behaving poorly. It's not supposed to be pitch black, but it is, and there's no good reason for that. If I rotate it, oh, it's still pitch black, but on that side. Oh, that's bizarre. Oh, and now it's fixed, right? Is it fixed now? No, okay, good. Now if I tilt it, it intermittently fixes. Oh, sweet. Ash loves shaders. I've done one. I figured out one shader period that I felt proud of, and it's this vertex shader. That's literally the entirety of it. Is just this movement. Is a vertex shader. And that's I peaked there. It's been nothing but downhill since. Dupu, you should go to bed. Everyone else is allowed to continue hanging out. I need to get more comfortable with visual editors. There's something about it that I'm like, I want to be able to like grab the code in text and paste it into a document or something and fiddle with it, or I don't know. I hate messing with nodes. I don't want to mess with nodes. Give me code. Give me code. Oh, dun dun dun. Why would it do this? Why is it black? Is it the color? Albedo color, just be wall. Oh, and semicolon. GDScript doesn't use semicolons, and it keeps throwing me off. Okay, that's not it. Is it albedo text? No. So nothing here is the problem. Nothing up there is the problem. Something is really screwy with the shader. Because there's no other parts of England. That's it. You're either in London or the north. They really are. There's no other parts of Britain. I mean, just based on the conversations thrown out in chat and Dupu stream, the only logical conclusion I've come to is that the North is just 90% of Hot Fuzz. It's just farmers and farmers' mums. The North is the area surrounding London. It's perfect. The greater good. Yar. A great big bushy beard. Crusty juggler. It is such a good movie. It is maybe my favorite movie. I don't watch a lot of movies. It's tight writing. It is very good. Unlike this black void here. But it's sometimes not Is it something to do with this? Like, what if I... This here... No, it's still there. So, why is it darkness? Why is it absolute darkness? As much how it was. Well, as a northerner, I'm sure you would appreciate it. Inverted normals. That's an interesting one. It's a calculated normal. Yeah, so this is a CSG shape. I love these nodes. Oh, ads are running. If anyone's getting ads, tell me to wait. It's called a CSG shape. There's a whole bunch of them. CSG box, cylinder, mesh, polygon, sphere, torus. I pretty much just use boxes and occasionally cylinders. Actually, no, that's a lie. I do use polygons from time to time. Constructive shape geometry is what they're called. And it is basically in-engine Boolean solids. It is such a time saver if you just need to slap down an awkward bit of geometry and you don't want to get Blender out and then immediately be like, actually, I need this hole to be like 2 units to the left. And it's like, okay, now I gotta relaunch Blender and move the hole and re-export it and re-import it. It's a mess. No. This though. This is so good. So good. Look at that. Boom. All in engine. It just poops out a crappy little mesh. The triangles are nothing to write home about, but 7 billion cubes. I get it. I just find that if my goal is to have an indentation or something, it is so much easier to modify later to actually move a hole rather than to move the solidity that forms the hole. Okay, so I guess this is correct. Somehow. Somehow this is correct. It's just there's some weirdness with the lighting. Oh wait, no, here, see, look at this. It's doing it here too. Why? Okay, if I mess with it, does that fix it? Sort of. It shouldn't. So the idea is that this shape is, it's just this. It's a block with a notch taken out of it. What is happening here? Is there something weird about how the geometry is being constructed or something? No, you can actually see the geometry. Let me go inside of it. Can you even flip faces on a CSG? I don't know that you... Whoops. I don't know that you can. Calculate tangents for the CSG, which allows the use of normal maps. I mean, yes, I think we do need that. Wait. This is only applied on the root shape. It's ignored on any child. Is that important? You can flip faces on the primitive. Okay, what if I said union? Okay, so now this should just be 2 blocks intersecting. All right. So delete this. Delete this entirely. Now we just have a cube. Just a cube. Flip faces on. That ain't it. It's still... This is bizarre. I'm trying this shader out because, well, I want the texturing to be different on, I want the top and the side to have a different texture, mostly specifically for these CSG shapes. They are jank. They have their quirks, admittedly. But I've never really encountered major issues with them until trying to use this shader. Getting dumb ideas. That would fix it. That would fix it. That looks really level. It looks level. It's not. Now this is still the weird one, is this one bit. Like, I'd love to figure out if it's an issue with the actual shader. I guess one quick way to test that would be just throw a mesh instance down. Just make a box mesh. Make it big. Copy this. Paste that. No, it's not CSG. This is just a box mesh. Bog standard. It's something with the shader. What is wrong with the shader? Like, Pure Black, to me, says the shader is somehow encountering an error. Is there some math that would be weird? Does normalize... Okay, let's look up some of these functions. Normalization of a vector reduces its length to 1 while preserving its direction. What if you had a vector that... What if you had a vector that didn't have a length? What if it had a vector... What if you had a vector of length 0? That would fail, right? Right off the bat, normalize would error out if your vector was like 0, 0, 0, because that has no direction. So how does that happen? What is this? We are adding the... What is this? What is this, though? Okay. The normal. Model normal matrix. Oh, God, Gosh, I hate that I'm having to learn things. What is model normal matrix? Model / local space to world space transform for normals. This is the same as model matrix by default unless the object is scaled non-uniformly, in which case this is set to transpose inverse mat3 model matrix. That cleared nothing up. Okay. Here's an idea. That is curious, isn't it? Okay, so x is taking -1 times the absolute value of the x component of the normal. Okay, so let's look at this shape here. The normal on the top face is going to be 0, 1, 0. And look at that. You never use... Oh, wait, no. Okay, 0, 0, 1, 0. Well, so that would give you something, right? Yeah, I noticed that these two are the same, as well as these two, which that's what makes me think, like, is there something intentional about that? What's going on here? Because I know there's not going to be axial symmetry, like three-dimensional symmetry, because this particular shader is going to treat X-facing walls and Z-facing walls identically by design. So I think there's going to be some duplicate that's intentional. I don't know if that's it or not. Binormal. What is a binormal? What is a binormal? The binormal in model space. What? Define binormal. Perpendicular to the tangent and normal vectors. Perpendicular to the tangent and the normal vector. How does that work in a 3D mesh? Binormal 3D. All right, here we go. Game development stack exchange. Okay. The normal, the tangent arbitrary direction. Why? Okay, so tangent is just determined somehow. Okay, let's say, hypothetically, from the internet, from one of those Godot shader websites that just has a bunch of shaders that you can play around with. And I was like, let's try this. And then it turned out it was busted in some way, in some interesting way. Let's zoom in a bit. Oh yeah, there's some good stuff available out there, especially for people like me that need a starting point to understand what in the world shaders are trying to do. Shaders are impressively powerful. So I feel like I need to get a better grip on them. Okay, so the normal is fairly straightforward. That is probably going to be 0, 1, 0. So what if I did that? What if I did that? What if I did that? Nothing? Nothing? Not even a little silly... Not even a little silly something or other? Okay, what if I did... like, I'm assuming normalizing tangent. Oh, maybe it's normalizing binormal that's doing something weird. So this is 0, 1, 0. So 0, 1. Well, that's just gonna give me 0, 0, negative 1. Always check your binormals. Shady, because you see it's unshaded. My theory, my working theory, and I'm pretty heavily locked into this. I think this has got to be what's going on. Is that this is wrong. Like, can I do this? Great. Cool. I feel like something is erroring out rather than we're getting the wrong values because I can just set albedo to vector 3. I can just set it to here. Make it grayish. Boom, gray. Boom. So that's. Oh wait, that's working. Okay, what does that look like in here? Oh yeah, everything looks fine. Okay. Oh, okay. Hang on. But earlier when I tried this, something was not right. The problem is, okay, so albedo is the thing we're wondering about. So we want to know, is it a problem with one of these? So we could do albedo texture equals just the wall. Just take flat out the wall texture. That did not do it. So then we take, okay, color equals flat up the wall albedo. Still nothing. I know, it's ceiling. Color.rgb. Can I set RGB this way? I think I can. Okay. Well, that seems to imply that that this texture is wrong. So now I'm ignoring all of this and just saying, hey, set it equal to this texture here, and set the color equal to white. Now if I set it equal to like this, yeah, we get kind of a reddish color. Yeah, so its texture is wrong then. If I raw set albedo, things work. Which means that this value here is actually returning black for these two faces. And because we are hard setting RGB, it's gotta be albedo text RGB, I would assume. And that would imply that albedo text wall, that's not gonna work, right? No. So that means, yeah, that the actual texture here, which I think is passed in directly. Wait, no, it's not. Ah, it's not. Oh, then we're on to something. Okay, get rid of those. All right, so this right here. All right, it starts with a vector 4 of 0. That's black. If use UV on wall, which we are not, then take a triplanar texture. Got something here. That's a function in this code, isn't it? I saw that earlier, yeah. Sampler 2D, which is 2D texture, effectively. P weights, P triplanar position, texture as a function. Go shader texture function. Any details here? No luck. What's the point of the texture? Okay, so the idea. This is such a dumb thing that I'm trying to speed things up in my process. So, the idea is I've got, let's pop this open. All right, so I've got a standard box. This is a solid static body. It's a cube, but it has a different texture on the top than it does on the sides. It's got just one texture for the top and a different texture for the sides. The details of what the texture are don't really matter, but the idea is, I think that, that looks nice, in that you don't have like one continuous texture that continues down the wall. There are other ways to do that as well. But to get that to work, I need to have an imported mesh that already has the UV set up so that those can be two different textures. However, when I work with CSGs, as I love doing, I don't already have the meshes pre-built. That's kind of the point. So I thought to myself while throwing together a CSG tonight, like, wait a second, I wonder if there's a way that a shader could do this for me to make it so that the top face and the side faces have a different texture automatically, which brought us to this texture, and now we are troubleshooting somebody's code to try and figure out why won't it do this. Okay, so P weights. What's wrong with the weights? I think something's wrong with the weights, guys. What if the weights were just set to... Aha! Okay. The weights are bad. We have bad weights. Where are these weights coming from? Wall and floor are the ones we're actually having issues with. I mean, there's a chance that there's something wrong with, yeah, and the ceiling. Okay, all of them. But only if they are facing certain directions. So, where do these weights come from on all three of these? Power normal. Oh boy. So right now, presumably, the weights are coming across as straight 0. Yes, that gives you pure black. If it's anything else, then it works. Interesting. Huh. Okay. So these must be coming across as 0 somehow. We're doing a divide equals here. And it's not failing. So that tells me it's already 0 by this point. Boom, right here. Power. Absolute of normal. UV blend sharpness. What is UV blend sharpness? Oh, that's a value we pass in. Oh. Okay. That shouldn't matter, but okay. There we go. We fixed it. It was the UV blend sharpness, which for some reason allows for a value of 0. That shouldn't be a problem, right? Power, 0, anything. That should be 1. That should make this 1, a value of 1. Unless it doesn't. Godot shader how function. Nope. Shading language, pow. Undefined power. Vector type, pow. Vector type X. Vector type Y. Pow. What? How? How pow? Godot vector pow. How does power work in vector math? That doesn't. I don't get that. Well, I guess the point is that somehow a value of 0 here is bad. Oh wait, actually there was something there. Undefined if x equals 0 and y is less than or equal to 0. So if the normal, if absolute value of the normal, what does that do? Absolute value, oh, just flips it. Okay, so the normal would have been 0, I guess. How would you have a normal of 0? That doesn't make any sense. All right, get this mesh out of my face. It displeases me. This box, we can take the rotation and reset it to full 0. Confident in, oh, yes. It's beautiful. We have a texture. I love belt immunity equipment. Actually, I don't. I'll admit it. It's not my thing. I kind of like running along with the belts. Actually, there is a pretty good use case in a lot of the mods. Hypercube comes to mind because when you are carrying not Hypercube, Ultracube. When you are carrying the cube, you walk very slowly and you cannot outrun belts. That said, I've never made it far enough in Ultracube to necessitate or to get to the point where I could use equipment in my equipment grid. Oh man, it really did. I really want to spin up another game of Factorio sometime, a modded game. There's some really good stuff out there. What was the one I was looking at? I don't know why, but every once in a while I just keep looking at the recently updated mods in Factorio. I don't know why. But Crastorio 2 is updated for 2.0. And there's some really good new planet mods that people have made. Meraxis is like the big one that is like, oh yeah, you gotta do Meraxis. Also, oh man, this mod right here, the Planet View from space mod. Really cool, so that when you are in orbit over a planet, you can see the planet. That's really nice. So Meraxis is the underwater planet. So you have to build domes. There's no hatches or anything that you just walk in and out of them. It's fine. So most machines will only work if they are in a pressurized dome. Yeah, it's the Subnautica one. Actually, there are deep sea trenches and everything. The submarines are basically the boats from freight forwarding, if you remember those, where you just set a waypoint and it goes there. It's actually probably a little bit friendlier than freight forwarding. Admittedly, freight forwarding was very cool, but you get some new processing recipes. It's on par with Aquilo in what part of the game it shows up in. Freight forwarding was so fun. I loved getting to play that with you guys. There are deep sea trenches where it's much darker, so you can't do solar. But there's lava, so you can do lava processing. No, we're just peeking. We're just looking at some mods. So this one combines like each planet because there's spoilables in the form of coral, and you have to use ag towers on those to get like fish nutrients. There's lava processing, and then you have to use the recyclers a lot for something or other. Honestly, really, really well done mod, especially because the lower levels you're like cramped for space, very Aquilo-like. So yeah, that's one of the really, really good mods these days for Space Age. Ash House Crastorio. I've never made it through Crastorio, and I know that's not even a particularly difficult mod. It's just vanilla but more, basically. I tried, I don't know why. I think I just saw some post that was like, oh yeah, Crastorio and space exploration. Everybody always combines those. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. Space exploration is huge. I wasn't ready for it. I was not ready for space exploration. Just kind of pads. That's what I get the idea of. Like, it's, if you like getting to figure things out again and not rely on your traditional memorized ratios, then like, yeah, Crastorio, why not? Yeah, everything's just like, oh yeah, you need to make inserter parts. Really? Do I have to put them on the bus? Well, you may as well. Cool. I hope space exploration. I know they're working on getting space exploration ported to 2.0, and I do want to go through it at some point. But I feel like I'm going to be comparing it to Space Age if I do, where it's just going to be like, oh man, yeah, they really refined this in Space Age. It's like, well, yeah, because it's based on space exploration. So I don't know. I feel like it's just going to be a longer, drudgier mess. Now, we played it before 2.0, but freight forwarding was fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. It was silly and fun and made us think about things in a very different way. Ultra Cube, it got a little bit too big for me, and my brain was not prepared. Okay, so we can get rid of this now. There we go. I guess we can make it go. Maybe we can put a little secret back here or something. Okay. So anyway, the thing we were working on ages ago, the idea is we're going to have a big pit here, and we're going to put an invisible wall in it. And that's literally it. That's the idea. But the advantage is that's going to give us a good excuse for making it so that you can't just... We don't have as much space to fill up, is really what it comes down to. Right. Scoot this back a bit. Let's see, what were some of the other mods we did? Jeez. What's the deal? What's the deal? 0, is here. So why would we be falling through the world? Oh, probably a height thing. That's not the secret category. Okay, this is nice. And then we can just have this be a big pit that we just... It doesn't even have to actually be a very deep pit. It's just like, there's a railing here, and that's it. Oh, I love Camp Samaria. Okay, this feels much more manageable size-wise for this area as well. Oh no, did we lose him? Did we lose the little fox guy? Oh, he must have just walked into the water. Oh no, there he is. All right. He paths way over there for some reason. Cool. Let's add a rail. Like this one. And now we can, how does this work? Can we just like go nuts with it? That was 2 nuts. Oh, we can go like this. Let's go. That'll work. Just like that. Okay, add a little bit more to the side there. Now we got it. Rail. Done. Easy. Then we need, in this big pit, we need a big invisible box. Luckily, I have a big invisible box scene for just such an emergency. Okay, make sure that's looking nice and smooth against the side there. Looks great. Okay, love it. All right, we will go ahead and hide that. And we will now confirm that we can't fall in the pit. Pit is unfall-inable. I like that I get these weird shadows. I don't know which of the like post-processing whatsits are doing that. Let's bring the railing down a bit. Seems a little bit high. Now it seems a little bit low. Now it seems just right. So excited! That guy is hopping. That could be it. Dude. You gotta calm down, buddy. Buster Brown. So excited. Wait, hang on. Turn on fast mode. Yeah. Slow mode. Yes. Perfect. Okay. This is shaping up a bit. This is still a big empty zone. Everyone gets it. I'm worried that people will just be jumping around. Like, all the NPCs will just occasionally be hopping, and you'll just hear a little just every once in a while from somebody's pathing, pushing them up against a wall temporarily. All right. This area needs more light, I think. It does. I love the little rails. Maybe another hole. Maybe just another big pit with like I don't know, something. Or we could put some stairs here for like a lower level something or other. Stairs might be good. Because then, so the issue I keep running up against is camera. I need everything to be visible. And you can't have like a big structure in the middle without the camera being obscured when you try to go behind it. And then you have to do clever things, and we don't want to be too clever. We can help it. I mean, we had to be clever for this big structure here on the left. When you come up, oh, that's wrong there. That's not supposed to be there. When you come up here, it just disappears. I actually hide it based on whether you're in the top zone or the bottom zone of this area. Man, I love this big shadow. It's so good. Why are there two fences? How did this happen? When did this happen? Who did this? Oh, I know why. I see. I see what happened here. Make unique. If you ever copy-paste something, problems happen. So that would mean this was originally like, I don't know, 12-ish? Dwarvish? Bigger than 12. 15 looks great. Okay, cool. I love it until I forget that it's there and it's doing things. This is too big. One more. Perfect. Casual. Casual, the victory music sounds good. I won't know if I'll need to shorten it slightly or not until I actually get that worked in. I need to build a big, over-the-top, aggressive animation for when you complete Chapter 1. But the music sounds really good for it. It's very like, oh. Like, I almost feel like it's like, holy cow, this feels like the one-upped version from like you have finished the game and you got the very last MacGuffin, and it's almost like, oh, we need to tone this down a bit. But at the same time, like, you know what? Maybe if I can make the animation really, big and exciting and little fireworks, then maybe it'll be fine. You know, you're only gonna get 7 of these MacGuffins. Even more. No, I think it should be the same for all of them. We're gonna hire in a live choir. Casual was there. That's the whole thing. All right, big hole is there. Staircase down would be good. Maybe, I don't know. I do feel like we need something going on here. 100%. Oh, they'll always be here. Forever. Nothing will ever change. Okay, so this is significantly better by having a limit on this area, and so it doesn't just extend forever. Don't worry about that guy. I may actually bring it even closer. It really just comes down to you don't want to think you could jump the gap or something. So we can bring it like one extra unit in. So then you'll have the shop here. I guess you'll just have some people milling about. You know, it doesn't all have to be buildings. We're gonna leave room here for more things to buy for early game. This is the only early game shop in the hub. So we want to make sure that the items here are early game appropriate, which means bowling ball is probably out. That's true. Market could extend forward a bit. Like could have just some random, I don't know. What would you have up here? Like I was thinking like have some shop space extend forward. I don't want the purchasables to extend towards the camera because then they'll obscure each other a little bit. I think maybe just some like colorful characters milling about that you're like, oh, what's this guy's deal? That would be good. Elevator. There's going to be an elevator at some point, like a pulley system, a lift. And so one of those is going to be like over here because it's very important for the cinematography. Initial cinematic. The initial cinematic, it's a big deal. It is game manager. So when you first get to this area for the very first time, there's going to be like a little bit of dialogue. You know what? That was the sound effect that was playing in my head. Is the SMRPG jump sound effect. So the idea is the first time that you get to the hub, it's gonna be like you get a little bit of dialogue. It's like, well, it ain't much, but we do what we do, and then like the camera's gonna slowly pan out while the music swells. And then then there's this little elevator is gonna be lifting up. And you'll see the big, and then yeah, so that's the idea. We get an absolute suitable. Okay, wait, hang on. Do it again, but play the actual music. Wait for it. Wait for it. Because I think the intro here is like some of Casual's best stuff that he's done. So you first get here and then you get the slow pan out. You get a little flavor of the town. Okay, the timing was a little bit bad because it was supposed to zoom in on the. No, I mean, no, we're gonna add accessories. Everyone's gonna get like a hat or a scarf or something like that. Okay, some characters here. An elevator of some sort here. It needs to not be close to this because you don't want to think that that's how you get over here. There's a chance you can't even get up here until after Chapter 1. We're going to slowly open things up as the game progresses. And you won't be able to reach this chest. Like, we're going to make it pretty obvious, like, no, there's no way you can jump that. You cannot jump from this roof to that. It's too far. You need to use Leon. which means I'll probably actually, instead of putting a chest there, we'll probably just put the item itself so that he can grab it with his tongue. Because right now there's no logic for latching onto a chest. That might be a little bit inconsistent to have, oh yeah, you can totally attach to chests. Like, no, it's only the special color-coded things. So we'll replace that with an item. Currently, I've just got a pile of boxes over here, but I think something after Chapter 1 will create somehow the ability to get up here, maybe from this side, maybe like these boxes or something, like fall off an elevator or something. I don't know. And that opens up this zone, whatever that's going to be. We don't know yet. Can we get a cinema emote? I'll have to see what we can do. Something would have to go. There'll probably be like a couple of characters you can interact with over here. And then over here, this is how you're actually going to get into Chapter 2 zone. Either a passageway straight here or a catwalk of some sort. And then we're going to put a shortcut up right here in the wall. There's going to be one of those like grooved surfaces that you can slide up that will also allow you to get up on top of this building. So we'll put a big secret here that you can't access until like early late game or late mid game. But you'll see it pretty early on. Actually, at first, it's going to be blocked by the pipe, so you won't really be able to see much about what's going on up here. It won't be super obvious. But pre-Chapter 1, I definitely want you to see this chest and be like, or this treasure, and be like, oh man, I really want that, but I can't get it yet. I must need some sort of move from later in the game. And then you get invested. You start thinking about, oh man, I wonder what moves I'm going to get in this game. I've never played this before. I don't know what's possible. Maybe I get a big jump. You don't get a big jump. You don't get a big jump. So maybe a big elevator, like a platform pulley. There we go. Rocket on. I'm gonna do a rocket jump. Cat, get off my head. This is not becoming of a partner. Let's see. Oh, more stuff. I need more stuff. I love having stuff. Yeah, let's move that. Let's move that back by a unit here. Pop. And now behold the magic of a CSG. Bop. I moved the entire hole. I didn't have to resize this block and then resize this block and no. It was just push the hole. It's so good. Would recommend. CSG's so good. Yum, CSG. Okay. So we were thinking about the freight container, shipping container. I don't think this area is good for it because they're very big. It's very much you have to put this in the back, like where the camera will never be behind it. It's such geometry. Wow. Like we maybe here as like the entrance to some kind of building. Like we replace these objects with a shipping container, like an open shipping container. That could be interesting. Kind of break the... I'm not going to say it's monotonous, the shape of the planks, but it could definitely be better. So we still need to figure out what else to put in here. Where is that elevator? I don't even know. But I was thinking we could have a lift that takes you to some kind of like upper zone where like the camera is like pointed heavily downward. So you kind of get this big overview, but there's rails, so you can't fall. But it just kind of gives you this like, whoa, this like sense of area. Non-functional market stalls. That's not a bad idea. A little cart with a broken wheel. Yeah, a little cart with a broken wheel. What other music do you have next? Fairy lights. That could be fun. Cart with broken wheel. Cart with broken wheel. I guess what I need to do at some point is play through the whole game. That would be a very Earthbound line right there. I need to play through it so I can just figure out where the music is missing. Actually, on that note, like, do I have victory music and stuff for battles yet? I haven't wired in the game over music. Color on the settings menu is not great. Mess them up. Oh, great. Very cool. Just smack for one. Doesn't matter. Block. There's no sound effect there. Need the sound effect for enemies attacking. Pig should not be solid. So that music cuts off like just a little bit early. I'll see if I can find the beatbox for that one. Because that would be good to get that fixed up. Alright, nobody look at my songs. Victory fanfare right there. Boom. Make sure this is the right one. No, that's the full... Dang it. I didn't save it right. Oh, wait. Yes, I did. Hang on. Maybe this is it. Okay, cool. I'm going to send this your way, Casual. It is just the final 3... Wait, hang on. No. It is specifically... I'm going to send you a picture of which block it is. It's that one. 3-6-11. Almost the last section. Tempo needs to match. Needs to be in there. There you go. That's something that needs to be done. All right. Hub. Hub A. Hubba. Hub A. So dark over here. We're gonna need more shadow, or more light, so that we can have more shadow. Lamp. I love lamp. I need this lamp. String that right there. Right there. See, that's cool. And it also serves to kind of alert you to when you're getting close to the edge, because you'll see the edges a little bit better. Ow, the edge. Okay, that's cool. Cart with broken wheel. So that's super doable with CSG, but maybe we should do it in Blender. What kind of cart, or should it be like a trailer? You know, the kind. A utility trailer. One of those metal meshy. Maybe a fruit cart? Let's see what I see with the fruit cart. Oh, actually, like a food stand would be nice. That could be fun. I feel like I can think of like some things that maybe you could purchase in the mid game that like it's not available, and then we could have a fun line when you talk to them in chapter 0 and chapter 1. They'd be like, yeah, I'm not really selling anything. I'm just scoping out the best possible spot. Location, location, location. Let's see. Fruit cart, trailer. Does trailer make much sense? Wooden cart. Just a wooden cart with a busted wheel. It's like, why do you have a wooden cart? What is the setting here? What the heck is the setting here? Why do you have a wooden cart? Shopping cart? Shopping cart could be something. Is there an animal pulling the cart? Ooh. Now here's the idea, is that almost every NPC in this game is going to be an animal. Because I think that's fun. An animal or some other cutesy looking character. Something whimsical, yeah. So what if it is a horse? What if it is just a horse, but he's just like standing upright with a cart? And then he makes some bit about, it's like putting me before the cart. Am I right? Hey, all right. Hey, I'll be here all week. Nobody puts the cart before me. No, wait, no. It's two horses. And one of them's very concerned about the cart, and the other is the horse's friend, and they're a little put off because, oh man, sometimes I feel like he puts the cart before me, and that's the gag. That's it. That's it. We're creating characters solely so that we have these dumb one-liners. I like that dumb idea. We're gonna have a broken cart and two horse characters solely for a dumb joke. It is. That's really like 80% of the game. All right, broken cart, go. Horse brothers, two horse brothers. Clyde. Oh my, Al! How dare you be funnier than me? Just copy paste. Jeez. All right, delete the light, delete the cube. Now we can add a cube. We're going to I don't know. Should I make it out of planks? That kind of makes sense, right? Make it out of planks. Yeah. What gives? See, if I'm gonna make it out of planks, I may as well just make it in Godot. Broken cart. Let's go. First, we need a plank. That's going to be a... Wait, let's first have Node 3D base, which is a couple of meshes. They are boxes. They will be wood planks. Wow, gorgeous. Oh, this is make unique. Offset that a little bit. Scale it. Scale it. That looks great. There's our plank of wood. Incredible. It's huge, by the way. It is, as one dog would put it, it is Xbox huge. Two units. Okay, there we go. Boom. Mesh. And then plop over another one. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller so that when I plop over another one, even smaller. Slightly bigger. Okay. That'll work. Looks great. Flip this one upside down so we just don't have the absolute repeating texture going on. These are still like slightly too small. I want a narrow gap. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it's fine actually. Let's exaggerate a bit. All right. Duplicate. And then duplicate. There. Base of the cart. Done. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Sides. Looks good to me. Do we go taller? Oops. Not that one. Not that one. Yes, that one. Not that one. Okay. Sides. I guess back. And then the front will be open. Scale that one to taste. Beautiful. And then duplicate. Great. Duplicate. Let's save that in our scenes as a broken cart scene. We're not done, but it's a good start. Love it so far. It's good, good, good. Wheels. There will be one busted wheel. does the wheel look like? It's a mesh, it's a cylinder. Beautiful cylinder right there. Beautiful cylinder, TBH. Scale it down. Yeah, that looks about right. We'll go 0.5. This one does have to be kind of eked out a bit. Are there humans in this world? I can't think of a good human design. So I think it's just going to be animals. Who built the city? That is a good question, and one I don't actually have anything in my document of plot information for. Ooh, let's go dark blanks. Yes. So let's rotate it slightly. That's not super great, but good enough. Especially if we scale down pretty severely. And then give this some kind of dark texture here. That looks pretty good. Yag, welcome. That's right, you have to buy the game to find out. Actually, the axle should probably go straight through, huh? Now that I'm thinking about it. Duplicate this, transform, change that to a negative. Boom. Amazing. Then take all these and lower them slightly. So the cart axle is going underneath. It's a cart. It's a cart. It's a broken cart. That's what it is. So how do we do that? How do we break one of these wheels now? Jeez, Al. That's disgusting. Let's see. Wheel like this.
Horse-drawn carriage, but we just watched you draw it, Dobbs.
Ba-da-ba. And then the whole thing is going to be kind of tilted down a bit, I guess. So we want to look at it like this. All right, so this then needs to be like really, really messed up here. Okay, so this is where we just use our artistic license a little bit. How then is this happening? How do you balance? You can't get all four of these wheels on the ground. Like, we're gonna have to do something like this. And then that would mean that this goes like this. Well, now that's way, way up. How do we get those 3 points on the ground? Horseworks. Well, that looks pretty good there. That's just about it. I think we got it. I think we got all of them touching the ground now. Okay, so this though needs kind of an axle of its own. Huh.
Bear walks into a bar. The bartender says to the bear, "What are you drinking?" The bear responds, "I'll have a."
Uh-huh. Please, Brian, continue. Right, TTS has a,
Beer. The bartender says, "Why the big pause?"
I mean, it's no, Germ Dove TTS. Alright, this is the broken wheel. So let's see. 0.5 for the radius, 0.1 for the height. I think if we take the transform, can we copy the whole transform? No. Okay. Copy value of this, paste value of that. Oh, not you, not you, not you, you. Good. Copy value, paste value. Okay, and then scale. Okay, perfect. That is perfect, like it or not. And now take the material. Paste it on. Hide that. Oh, geez, is that how that's gonna look, huh? Oh. What's the matter, you? What on earth is happening in there? Huh. Dark planks, triplanar. Okay, let's just put triplanar on it and call it a day. Yeah, I love breaking Germ Dove's TTS. CSG Polygon. Oops. CSG Polygon. What is going on here? Is this okay? Hello. All right, that'll be fine. Sure. All right, this is gonna be really wonky. And you'll be wondering, like, why? What is he doing? What is going on here? I assure you, I have good enough reasons. Okay. Whew. All right, well, that looks awful. Okay, that'll work. Big broken bit there. Big split. Hey, Bach. The Stanley Parable voice is really good on Germ's TTS, and it breaks so much. All you gotta do is repeat a word a lot, and it loves it. Or just talk about the new button. New button. You can press it. Legend of the Saddle. Alright. Cool. We got a heart. A horse cart. We can put some bags in it. Some sacks of stuff. Look at that. Boom. Big old bag. What's in it? Secret. Trade secret. Don't worry about it. It's a bit big. Bit big, isn't it? New button. Featuring new button. You can press it. I'm so excited about new button now. Like big old, one big bag. One big bag. New bag. What else we got in here that we could throw in? I got some small crates. Let's see.
You were
Rope
back.
coil. New bag. Chimney, kettle, metal pipe, table. That's probably fine. Boy, everything uses this wooden texture. I really probably need a secondary wooden texture at some point. Oh, a barrel. How about a barrel? Everybody loves barrels. Maybe the barrel is a bit much. Maybe just more bag. Maybe just big bag. And we'll tilt it slightly. Best of luck, Ash. Have a good night. How many bags does one need? That's a great question, actually. Now this needs a static body with a collision shape of box. You can collide with it. Can you go in the cart? I guess I'll let you go in the cart. A little bit, as a treat. Extend the hitbox a little bit to include the wheels. Should I even bother? Should I bother with letting you go in the cart? I guess people would be interested in going in the cart, which is reason enough to let you go in the cart. Right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. People are gonna want to go in the cart, you know? Here we go. Cart. Bag. Look in the cart, see the bag. Songs have been sent. All right. Let's take a listen. So this is for completing a battle and victoriously. Something was... So there was some note there. Hang on. Oh, that's something else. I'll check what that is in a second. Sounds like a minor, like it's hitting a harsh minor key there. I guess I am kind of hitting a minor key there. Let's see, do we have all the little sub melodies there? So small. Yeah, I did make that a minor. I like the brassiness in the original. What do we got? What do we got here? Kind of twangy. We've got no chord there at the end. It's just the root note. That's something that's missing. Yeah, here we got a chord. The full C, E, G. So that's one thing we want to change slightly is get a little bit more thickness in that final note. And I think the counter melody. Do 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 do. It's a flute. It's a clarinet. It's a clarinet in the beatbox that I sent. Do 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 do. The twangy voicing that's used there. It's like I can hear it because I'm listening for it, but it's so tiny. I want something a little bit more, weighty would be good. We got a cart. It's got to hit. Oh wait, there was something else in there. There was something else in that message there. What's this other item here? What's this? Possibly for Robot Man. This sounds really good for like a Western area. I like that. Paper Mario area with the spiky enemies, the pokies, or the spinies. Casual, this would be really good for like field exploration in the Wild West zone. And that's almost entirely coming from this intro that puts me in that mind. Like you had a whip crack. You had a whip crack to this somewhere, like at the beginning. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like a nice... maybe if the marimba is changed out, possibly even for a strummed instrument similar to what you've got on the bass, but just up an octave. That's really good. It's kind of like a little dangerous, but like wide open spaces. I can see that working really well. You guys want to hear one of the favorite boss fight themes that I've gotten from Casual so far? If I can find it. Let's see here. Oh wait, I know exactly how to get. I know exactly how. I'm sure. Dabbletail's planning sheet has the links to everything that I need. Somewhere. There. Boom. Easy. Piece of cake. Link me to it. Come on, browser. Like the idea of the train boss. And there's a very intentional Good, the Bad, the Ugly musical nod in this as well. Exactly, Al. This is one of the ones where I just gave Casual a very terrible beatbox, and he converted it into like an actual playable song. This one right here. That's Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Yeah. I don't know if anybody would pick up on that because it goes really fast. Western music is fun. I love it. It's such a good, fun thing. All right, there we go. So the same thing that I've done for like your initial jump into the hub where like camera pans out. That is, I'm gonna try to get something akin to that for each boss fight. Each of the major end of chapter boss fights is gonna have like an actual opening cinematic with camera sweeping and motion and stuff. And so the train boss is gonna be very fun to choreograph with the music. Yeah, basically cutscenes, but only like one for each chapter boss. It's fine. All right, there we go. We got a broken cart. We'll throw that in the. Let's throw that in the hub and call it a day. Where does that go? Houses, NPCs. I don't have a good spot for it, do I? It's not geometry, and decor is going to be everything at some point. Upper decor, exterior decor, decor. Perfect. Honestly got the scale pretty close. Surprisingly. Set that around somewhere. All right, we need to get out of here. I gotta go to bed. I got work in the morning. Yeah, this does need to be a little bit bigger. Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. Look at that fun bit of solidity to run around on. I might mess with the hitbox a little bit for the bags, but as is, this is fun. This is fun. People are gonna want to jump on it. That needs its own little slidey hitbox as well. And then next time we should draw some horses. We'll draw some horses. Let's end right nestled next to our good friend, the bag. It's been a long time since we have made an NPC, but I think we need to get a new I think this whole area will really snap into place once we get a bunch of NPCs just kind of meandering about and like yammering all the time. Suddenly this place will feel like, oh, there's a lot going on here. That's really what's missing. And I think maybe some decals on the floor every once in a while just to add a little bit of something. A puddle somewhere, that kind of thing. Talking horse. Al's already given us their name, so I mean that's the hard part. Any programmer will tell you. Let's see. Let's see if this is a possibility. New live. Okay, not that. I haven't raided into this guy in forever. Let's see here. We got show me the recommended channels. Twitch. People that I might know. No. Okay. All right. Well then, let's see what we got. Top 3 NPC games. This is 2 of the best things. Yeah. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Let's see here. Who are we going to raid into? None of our regulars are on. So we're gonna have to go outside of our comfort zone. It's always worrying going into new people. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Love this concept. Gosh, dang it, people are talented. Dang it. What gives? Have a good night, Al. I'd love to find somebody who's kind of in our circle so that I can just comfortably drop everybody off there and then go away myself. Because if we go into someone new that I don't really know, then there's this expectation. It's like, we're gonna talk, right? We're buddies now. Does anybody have any suggestions of people they like? Because I will not be able to hang out and chat, is the thing. It is past my bedtime. I'm gonna check my categories that I follow, which is not something I usually dip into. Oh gosh, I definitely shouldn't look for anybody playing FTL. Or Factorio, or Darkest Dungeon, or Celeste. I don't follow a lot of categories, I'm gonna be honest. It's like some of these Mario categories are people that I know from years ago. Heading out, yeah, have a good one. I don't want to just not raid. I don't remember. Okay. I haven't looked at what Average Goob is doing. He's been on my follow list for ages. I think he raided in a long time ago. I don't even know what he's doing. I don't even know what he's working on. I can't see what. I can't make sense of this. Oh, decisions. All right, we're just gonna work on. Oh, yeah. Let's look for Godot category, not category, tag, and see what we get. Roguelite. Needleful. I've rated him before. What was their project? It was a like an action platformery kind of movement-based platformer that looked really cool. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do that. Let's send some people that way. I remember very little of the project. Usually what I like to do is like pop in intermittently and just see like, okay, how have things changed since the last time I was here? So we'll do that right now. Well, that looks very different. Okay. Got an egg capsule. It used to be a fully 3D modeled character. Oh, that was the thing, is that Needleful like does his own modeling and rigging and everything, which I thought was really, really cool. Oh, he's working on his dialogue system. Okay, that's good. That'll be good. Everyone, have a good night. I will be back tomorrow, and we'll make a horse or two, of course.